What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. So if you've been here for a while and you watched our videos during the fall, you might remember we had several Bigfoot sightings last year. Some of them on camera, of the dang thing creeping up on me while I was filming videos. He must be hibernating because I haven't really seen him since it got cold out, but I am convinced he'll be back this spring. So a couple months ago, I got this. This is the 375 H&H Magnum Big Game Rifle, a very powerful gun, and it would absolutely take out a Bigfoot, especially at longer range. But I wanted something a little bit bigger and more up close and personal, because if you have to defend yourself against something as dangerous as a Bigfoot, you just don't want to risk it. So I got this, the Thompson Encore 500 Nitro Express elephant gun. And since we don't really have elephants out here, I thought this could be our Bigfoot gun, because apparently we do have those. So I'll go ahead and give you guys a close-up look at this thing. It's an absolutely beautiful gun. It has a left-hand thumb hole stock, since I am a lefty, and then it's got a 45-degree hammer, so you can still cock the gun without running into the scope. It is just a single shot, so to break it open, you press on the bottom of the trigger guard here, and that opens up the barrel, so you can load your rounds that way. And then obviously 80% of the weight is in the barrel, which is extremely big and heavy. Hopefully you guys can see that writing where it says 500 Nitro on the barrel there. So I think it's a 22, maybe a 24-inch barrel. So it's not that short, but I'm used to seeing, you know, full-length rifles with really long barrels on these elephant gun calibers, and this one just looks tiny, like a cute little harmless 500 Nitro. Yeah, we'll see how harmless it's not when we shoot it here in a second. So when I first got the 375, I mentioned in a video that the top corner on the stock was like stabbing me in the shoulder, and had several people in the comments tell me, don't even try the 460 or the 500 Nitro. So to all you guys, challenge accepted. So just to give you guys some perspective, this is the 375 H&H Magnum, a very powerful round itself, and this is the 500 Nitro Express. They're about the same length. I think the 500 is a little bit longer and obviously just way fatter. This is the guy she told you not to worry about. And for those of you that aren't familiar with big game rifles, I'll go ahead and compare it to a caliber that you probably are familiar with, the 5.56, and you can see just how small it makes that 5.56 look. This is gonna hurt. So before we shoot the 500 Nitro, I'm gonna go ahead and prepare the old shoulder with a 375 H&H Magnum, and then we'll compare the recoil of the 500 Nitro. I'm just gonna shoot this into the hill. I'm kind of nervous, I'm not gonna lie. Now, I haven't zeroed this rifle yet. I haven't even shot it yet. I wanted my very first shot to be on camera with you guys. So the first thing we're gonna do is try to zero the scope on this big old paper target, and then we'll start shooting some other stuff. Plus, it's about 10 bucks a round, so I can't really afford to waste any ammo. All right, 570 grain solid. This will be by far the hardest recoiling gun I've ever shot, and I don't think I've ever been this nervous to shoot a gun before. So we did an online recoil calculator, and according to that, this is gonna kick twice as hard into the shoulder as the 375 H&H Magnum, which is just absolutely ridiculous. Rounds chambered. And by the way, I'm about 175 pounds. A lot of people think I'm like 130. I'm not that small, but I'm not a big guy, and a lot of us have seen Scott from Kentucky Ballistics shoot these kind of guns, and he's a terrible example for recoil because he's a giant man. So this is what it looks like when a normal sized person shoots a 500 Nitro. I guess today's the day we find out what kind of man I really am. I'm just gonna put the crosshairs right on that number 4, and I'll probably flinch really bad, but here we go. So I think the scope actually did hit me in the forehead. I thought it was up plenty far enough, but apparently not, because it definitely touched my glasses. So we hit the target about 2 inches low, but I'm almost positive I flinched and probably pulled that thing down. So maybe I'll try one more, and we'll see where it's at. You can see there's our first 500 Nitro spent shell casing. That's an adrenaline rush, man. All right, let's try one more on our paper target, and I'll try not to flinch as bad this time, but I don't know if that's possible. By the way, this is just a 1 to 4 power scope, so really no magnification. I bore sighted it the other day, but I didn't think it would be that close. It looks like we're almost dead on. Oh, yeah, it's cracking me in the head for sure. That one actually got me really good right there. But it looks like our scope is pretty much dead on, believe it or not. Well, I tried to move the scope forward just a hair, but unfortunately, it's about as far forward as it can go. So we're gonna try one more just to make sure I didn't throw the zero off. And this time, I'm not gonna lean into the stock as much. I'm gonna keep it back pretty far. There we go. Yeah. I think that's the way to shoot it. And these are our bullet impacts. The first one hit down here a couple inches, and then on the second one, I pulled the trigger slowly like I'm supposed to, and it hit me right in the face. But that one actually kind of went right where I was aiming, and then the third one is back down here. So I just moved the scope up a few clicks, and I think I'm gonna call it good. Let's shoot some other stuff. Check out that little guy. That's where I got scope bit, and it actually drew blood on my forehead. It really didn't hurt that bad, and it was mostly my fault because I was leaning into the stock when obviously I should be back quite a bit further, and I've never been scope bit in my life. And what cooler gun than a 500 Nitro to tell the story when people ask. So first time for everything, I guess. All right, so if you saw my first 375 H&H video, it actually put dents in my steel target, and I could be wrong, but I think the 375 is going faster than the 500 Nitro, and speed is what dents steel targets. So we're gonna do the same thing with this gun and see if the 500 Nitro will dent the steel like the 375 did. I'm going for that blue target on the left there. Oh my God. Dude, this thing is a tank. So what's funny is, before I shot that round, this entire target was painted blue. You could clearly see it on video, and the bullet impact alone took paint off the entire target. So our bullet definitely hit down here. You can see it left a pretty good mark right there, but it actually did not dent the steel like the 375 H&H did. So it definitely moved the entire target, and it sounded like it hit 10 times harder, but again, speed is what dents steel targets, and that's probably why the 500 Nitro did not leave a dent. Either way, crazy bullet impact. So you guys know the drill. With big old guns like this, we have to shoot a watermelon. And again, we're shooting the same bullet. It never gets old looking at these things. It's just such an impressive caliber. So it should explode our watermelon pretty good. Let's see. My main goal is to not flinch and miss the entire watermelon. It actually didn't explode it like I thought it would. I think that one went low. Let's try it again. There we go. Much better. How's my forehead wound? Is it getting any worse? Maybe I could make a viral video. Scope bit by a 500 Nitro Express. Hey, elephant gun fails blow up, man. All right, next up, we've got some 5-gallon water jugs that I set outside a few days ago. Unfortunately, they're not completely frozen all the way through, but they are mostly ice with a little bit of water sitting on top of them. So these are about 40 pounds a piece. So that's 120 pounds of mostly ice and a little bit of water. Let's see if the 500 Nitro can get through all three of these. Same bullet, 570 grain, dangerous game solid. Well, we got through the first one, that's for sure. And there are pieces of plastic from that first jug all over the place. There's some right there in the snow, and we're probably 15 yards away. I don't see, so that right there's the hole in our second one. Sorry if it was too bright, but you can see where it definitely went into the second one. Obviously, our first jug is just tore up. There's the entrance hole, and then there's the exit hole. So it actually blew the top off of the third And it did. It went all the way through all 3 of those. You can see the exit hole right there, and they're leaking a little bit of water, but you can see it's mostly ice. And that 500 nitro blew straight through all 3 of those. Well, I was hoping to capture one of those bullets so we could see what it looks like, but it went through all 3. That's pretty impressive. Well, that's gonna do it for me today, guys. My shoulder is already feeling it, so I hope you enjoyed our first video on the new Bigfoot rifle, the Thompson Encore 500 Nitro Express. If I'm being honest, you probably don't need anything bigger than like a 308 to take out a Bigfoot, but I wanted to make sure the next time I see him, he's going down. So I went and got one of the biggest rifles you can get for dangerous game, the 500 Nitro Express, and this will definitely do the job. Of course, there are bigger rifles out there. You got the 600 Nitro, the 700 Nitro, and it kind of goes up from there. But the 500 Nitro Express is up there, man. This is by far the hardest recoiling rifle I've ever shot, and there's not too many living things on planet Earth that could survive a shot from a 500 Nitro Express. It is an absolute tank. It seems like no matter how big you go, people always want you to go bigger, so I'm sure one day we will, but for now, I'm perfectly fine stopping at the 500 Nitro. This thing is plenty powerful enough for a guy my size. Like I said, I'm 175 pounds, and it's up there in recoil, I'll just say that. So again, I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please let me know down in the comments below. Let me know what else you would like to see with the 500 Nitro Express, because we will be doing more videos on it. I'm not gonna bring it out every week. I don't wanna break my shoulder that often, but of course, we will be making some more videos on it. So just let me know down below what else you would like to see with the Thompson Encore 500 Nitro Express Bigfoot rifle. Again, guys, if you liked the video, let me know in the comments. Hit that like button for me. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.